Hi programmers, welcome to our channel Life in Programming. Today we are going to learn how to create a tic-tac-toe game using pygame. So let's start. So at first we import the pygame library and initialize it. Wait, if you have not installed the pygame library, install it by run the command pip install pygame on your command prompt. So we write our code. So at first we write import pygame, then pygame dot init for initialize the pygame. Next we set up a game window width and height, and our width and height both are 600 pixels. So for that we write width equals to 600 and height equals to 600. Now we create a display on which we play our game. So for that we write display surface equals to pygame dot display dot set mode, and inside here we pass a tuple. That tuple contains both height and width like this. Next we set a caption for the game by write pygame dot display dot set caption, and inside here I write the caption tic tac toe. So now we create a game loop which allow us to handle the game. So for that we create a while loop and it's run until we are inside the game. Let's code for that while loop. We gave a variable to the while loop, and until that value of that variable is true, the while loop run, and when that value became false, we exit from the loop. So for that we declare a variable running equals to true. Now we write our while loop while running. This while loop runs until this running is true. When running became false, we exit from the while loop. Now inside the loop we handle multiple events such as quit event. Make sure that you have a quit event for quit the game. So now write our code for that quit event. So we write for event in pygame dot event dot get. This pygame dot event dot get give a bunch of events, and we loop through each events by this for loop, and we check if a event is a quit event, then we quit from the game. So for that we write if event dot type equals to pygame dot quit. If it is a quit event, then running became false. So by that we exit from the loop. So let's check our code is working properly or not. So run the code, and you see a display here on which we play our game. Now we click on the quit button and we quit from the game. Make sure that you write this quit event for quit from the game. Now we see that our display looks black color, but I want to it another color. I want a white color display. So for that I write white equals to 255 255 255. Here inside this tuple these are three values, and These values are in RGB format, means the first one is represent the red color, second one is represent the green, and third one is for blue, and their value is from 0 to 255. Since white is the mixture of all color, we write white like this, and we can create multiple color like black equals to 0, 0, 0, green equals to 0, 255, 0, blue equals to 0, 0, 255, red equals to 255, 0, 0, magenta equals to 255, 0, 255, yellow equals to 255, 255, 0. Now we fill white color on our display. So for that we write display surface dot fill white, and now our display is full with white color, but we should update our display for show that white color. So for that we write pygame dot display dot update. Okay, so let's test that it working properly or not. So run our code. Okay, you see that it is a white color display. Now we have to create the small boards where the cross sign and zero sign will be placed. So for that we draw 2 lines vertically and 2 lines horizontally. By doing this we get 9 small boards. So let's code for that. So for drawing a line we write this code. We write pygame dot draw dot line, and inside here we pass 5 parameters. First one is the surface where the line will be drawn, and our surface will be the display surface. Then second one is the color of that line, and that will be green. And the third one is the starting position of that line, and it contains both x and y value. So I write that like this: 0, height by 3, and the fourth one is the ending position, and that is like this: width, height by 3, and the last one is width of the line, and we write 2 here. So let's check is it working properly or not. So for that we run our code, and you see that a line is drawn here. Okay, let's go further. Now we draw our 4 lines. So for that we use a for loop, and our code is looks like this: for I in range 1 2 3, then this will here, and we copy this line and paste it here, and here multiply I, and here also multiply I, and here I write I into width by 3, 0, and here I into width by 3, 0. Sorry, it is height. Height. So let's test, is it working properly or not. Okay, you see that 9 boards are here. So let's continue. So now we write our code to create cross and zero sign and allow the users to place the cross and zero sign on the board. So for that we create a list called board like this, and it is an empty list, and this list contains 3 lists, and each list also contains 3 empty strings like this. Copy this and paste 3 times. Okay. Here each list represents a single row, and each item inside this list is represent a single item inside the board. At first there is no cross and zero sign, so we put empty string here. Now we check the mouse button click event, and by click the mouse button the player can place cross sign and zero sign on the board. So for that we write elif event dot type equals to pygame dot mouse button down. By this we check is the event is a mouse button down event. Then we track the position of the mouse cursor where it is clicked. So for that we write mouse x equals to event dot position 0 for the x position, and mouse y equals to event dot position 1 for the y position. Now we write the code for get the row and column of the clicked position. So for that we write row equals to mouse y divided by height divided by 3, and column equals to mouse x divided by width divided by 3. So by this we found that our click position is on which row and on which column. Then we place the player's symbol on the board, and we first check is that position is already filled up or not. So for that we write if board row column equals to the empty string, then board row column equals to player. And now we turn our player. If it is x, then we change it to y, and vice versa. So for that we write if player equals to x, then player equals to 0, else player equals to x. Now it's time to render the cross sign and zero sign on the screen. So for that we use to for loop, and our code looks like this. For I in range 3, then for j in range 3, And now we check if board I j equals to x, then text equals to font dot render x comma true comma blue. Here we pass three values. The first one is the text and the second one is a boolean value which determines that using anti-aliasing or not. Anti-aliasing basically a technique that is used to smooth the edges of text, and the third one is the color value which is blue here. Now we set a rect for that text by just write text rect equals to text dot get rect. After that we set the center value of that rect by just write text rect dot center equals to j into width by 3 plus width by 6 comma I into height by 3 plus height by 6. Then we bleed our text by write display surface dot bleed text and the rect of that text which is text rect. Similarly for 0 I write elif and here I write this code, and instead of x I put 0 here, and here I also write 0. So let's run our code and check is this working properly or not. So I click cross here, okay, it's work. 0 here, cross 0, cross 0, cross 0, cross. You see that our whole display is full, but we can't omit from the game. So let's code for that. So for that we write this code here. This will be if board zero comma 0 and just simply copy this and paste here and I change this 0 to 1 and this 0 to 2 and this 0 to 1 and this 0 to 1 and this also 1 and this to 1 and change this to 2 and this will be 2 and this will 0 and this will 0 2 and this will 1 and this will 2 and this will 2, and here I write running equals to false. So when this condition will satisfy, the running became false and we exit from the loop. to change the color of 0 to green, so I remove blue here and write green here. So let's test that our code is working perfectly or not. So place cross here, 0 cross 0 cross 0 cross 0 cross. Okay, we quit from the game. Now we come to the end part of our game and write code for checking the winning condition. So let's start. So for checking the winning condition, first we use a for loop and our code is look like this. For I in range 3, then if board I 0 equals to board I 1 equals to board I 2 is not equals to the empty string, then winner equals to board I 0. This condition will satisfy when in a row all of the elements are cross or 0. Similarly, we can write elif board 0 I equals to board 1 I equals to board 2 I is not equals to the empty string, then winner equals to board 0 I. Now we write another game winning condition when all the elements of a diagonal are same. So for that we write if board 0 0 equals to board 1 1 equals to board 2 2 is not equals to the empty string, then winner will be board 0 0. Similarly, I write elif board 0 2 equals to board 1 1 equals to board 2 2 is not equals to the empty string, then winner will be board 0 2. See that in checking of game winning condition we use a variable winner which store the value of winner player. It may be x or 0. Now we show on the display that which player won the match, but before doing that we create a variable called isPaused outside of the main loop, and we create that here like this. isPaused equals to, and its value will be false. Now in the checking of game winning condition we reassign this isPaused value to true. So here we write is paused equals to true. Simply copy this and paste it here, and also paste it here, and also paste it here. Remember, our each paused variable became true only if we satisfy the winning condition. Then we create a while loop to show which player won the match, and this while loop is run until this each paused is true. So now we write our while loop like this: while is paused, then we fill our display with white color by write display surface dot fill white. Then we render the text that show who owns the match. So for that we create another font, and in this time we make our font that size is 50. So for that we write here font 2 equals to pygame dot font, and inside here I write none, and the size will be 50. So we come here, and here I write text equals to font 2 dot render winner plus a minus sign plus wins comma true comma yellow. Here it is our entire string which show who owns the match, and here this winner carry the value of the winner player, which may be X or 0. Now create the rect for that text by just write text rect equals to text dot get rect and text rect dot center equals to width by 2 comma height by 2. Now create another text which is subtext, and that will be font 2 dot render, and inside here I write press enter to play and comma true, and here I write the color magenta, and create rect for that subrect equals to subtext dot get rect and subrect dot center equals to width by 2 comma height by 2 plus 30. Now I just bleed both text by write display surface dot bleed text comma text rect and display surface dot bleed comma subtext comma subrect. Now just simply update the display by write pygame dot display dot update. Now we check two conditions after the player won the match, that if the player wants to play again or wants to quit the game. So for that, inside the while loop we check the events like before we check. So for that I write for event in pygame dot event dot get, then if event dot type equals to pygame dot quit event, then running became false, and also each post will be false, so that we exit from the inner while loop. Then we check if the player click on the enter button, then he wants to play again. So for that we write elif event dot type equals to pygame dot key down, and now check if the event dot key will be pygame dot key return. By this we check is the key which is pressed is return key or not. If that is a return key, then is paused will be false and board will be our initial value, which is this. I just simply paste here. Remember that this second while loop is most important to show who is the owner. So finally we complete our code to make this beautiful game called tic-tac-toe. So let's run our code. We place crosshair 0, crosshair 0 and crosshair. Okay, X wins. Now press enter. Okay, 0 here, crosshair 0, cross 0, and now 0 wins. So now quit from the game.